Coming off of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there wasn't a lot of anticipation for the most recent Pokemon Presents from many different areas of the internet. Now, myself, I felt that there could be something big announced, but I didn't think that they would have a Pokemon Legends game announced at the Pokemon Presents that went down recently. But I did say if they did announce something, that it would probably be a 2025 game to ensure quality and to give them the amount of time from when Pokemon Legends came out, Pokemon Legends Arceus, to this one so they can make a better product. And what happened? They announced a brand new Pokemon Legends game mainline title, and it's called Pokemon Legends ZA. This is going back to the 6th generation of Pokemon X and Y and some of the awesome things that was there, and turning it into a Legend style game, but with a brand new twist that wasn't in the original Pokemon Legends Arceus. This one's going to be a bit different. Now, I'm going to be breaking down everything that you need to know about the game and some of the hidden details, secrets, and things that people have been pointing out with the trailer, and of course clearing up some of the controversy that was happening with the announcement. Some people already jumping and saying Nintendo announced that this is going to be on the Nintendo Switch 2 in the reveal trailer. Spoiler alert, that didn't happen. But before we get into that, guys, what's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, and click that notification bell to get my videos first. Now let's go ahead and jump right into this here and get into the official announcements just so we can be clear on what went down. So the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have announced Pokemon Legends ZA for the Nintendo Switch. It will launch in 2025 worldwide. The teaser trailer description reads, quote, "A new adventure awaits within Lumoy City, where an urban redevelopment plan is underway to shape the city into a place that belongs to both people and Pokemon. Please look forward to seeing it for yourself." Now, one thing that you have to make sure that you kind of focus on right there before we get into some of the other things with the game is urban redevelopment plan is underway. So the city isn't necessarily fixed and up and going when you start out. It's something that you have to build yourself. So you will be building up this city into what Lumoy City is when Pokemon X and Y starts. Very exciting with that. Now let's move on to the other announcement on the official Nintendo of America channel, where some of the controversy came from. Well, it was actually on the official Nintendo of America Twitter/X page. So it says, "Watch to see the reveal trailer for hashtag Pokemon Legends ZA, a new adventure set entirely within Lumoy City, coming to Nintendo Switch in 2025. Actually, it was the Pokemon Twitter page that actually said the controversial thing here. It's just that Nintendo of America quote tweeted Pokemon and then pinned it. Now, Pokemon said this, hashtag Pokemon Legends ZA, an ambitious new entry to the Pokemon video game series, will launch on Nintendo Switch systems in 2025. Now, apparently that last part there, Nintendo Switch systems in 2025, made people to believe that Nintendo or Pokemon was talking about the next Nintendo Switch because Nintendo Switch systems. But here's a problem with that thought process. The problem with that thought process is that, one, they've always said this. If you go back and look at Detective Pikachu back in 2023, they said launching on Nintendo Switch systems. And two, Nintendo officially categorizes Nintendo Switch systems as the Nintendo Switch systems, as in the regular Nintendo Switch, the V2 Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch Lite, and the Nintendo Switch OLED. So they're simply talking about the Nintendo Switch family of systems, like Nintendo says on their page, and like the Pokemon Company has already stated for previous games like Detective Pikachu and others. So I thought that it was weird that people were trying to say, oh, they mean the next Nintendo Switch system, when one, we don't even know if the next Nintendo Switch system or the Nintendo Switch 2 or the next generation Nintendo system is even going to be called the Nintendo Switch. So how are they stating that it's for the next generation system when we have no idea what the name is? So that makes absolutely no sense. And the Pokemon Company and Nintendo absolutely wouldn't leave it up if they were actually talking about an unannounced system at this point. Now, another thing that people wanted to point to was like, hey, it says simultaneously to Nintendo systems in 2025 in the trailer and all that. But once again, simultaneously means worldwide launch, simultaneous worldwide launch in 2025. And there's a Nintendo Switch icon in the top right corner. Some people were even trying to say that it's only going to the next generation Nintendo Switch. Switch, and it's just like, no, that's not it. So there was some controversy and people saying that. I saw that all over. I even saw some people saying that Nintendo put out a game that just has wireframes and the graphics aren't finished, and that this is going to be a bad game because the graphics are all wireframey and everything. And once again, guys, that was not actual gameplay. They even stated it right there at the bottom. The gameplay footage is not final. It's not actually gameplay. So just keep that in mind, that it's a CG trailer to kind of give you an idea of what the game is going to be about. That's why I told you guys to focus in on the urban redevelopment. So just keep that in mind when we're talking about this game and we go over some of the key points overall. Now, once again, people were kind of hyped up to kind of talk about this and what it could be for the Nintendo Switch 2 and all that. And I do want to say one more thing with that before we move on to the next topic. Yes, this game could be for the Nintendo Switch 2. There could be a Nintendo Switch 2 version. It could be a cross-gen or dual launch. I'm not ruling that out. It just wasn't revealed in the reveal trailer, nor was it revealed by Pokemon on Twitter or any other place. That just didn't happen. Not saying that it won't be on there, because I'm pretty sure that there will be a Nintendo Switch 2 or next-gen Nintendo patch or something, or backwards compatibility that forces the game to play a bit better with resolution and frame rate, or whatever the case is. I just personally feel that they didn't announce it here. So there's nothing to be looking at there based off of their terminology that Nintendo's used before in the past with the Nintendo Switch family of systems, and the fact that the Pokemon Company already did this before with the previous announcement, Detective Pikachu returns on the Nintendo Switch with the Nintendo Switch system. So people are kind of reaching with that one, and I get it. People are excited for the next system, so it makes sense. But let's look back at what's actually being said about this right now. Let's talk about the actual trailer itself and what it confirms and what it doesn't. Obviously, Mega Evolutions at the very end. People are excited to see Mega Evolutions come back. This has been one of the most requested features from core and I would even say casual Pokemon fans alike overall. What is going to happen with the Mega Evolutions? Will they ever go back to a gimmick? And they found their way to do it with a, not necessarily remake, a new game within the X and Y world. So I do think that is a fantastic way to bring it back. And I think that this could be really cool in terms of what they do for Mega Evolutions, new Mega Evolutions, the same ones that we've had before, different types of moves, and how that relates and how it ties into actually having an online multiplayer. Because if you remember, Pokemon Legends Arceus did not have online multiplayer when it comes to competitive battling. All it had was trading. So I do think that this could mean a bit more than just trading, that it will expand into battling against your friends. Now, let's talk about something else here. Building up the city from the beginning. That's why you saw the wireframes and not all the Pokemon complete and some of them in color, then other ones actually coming into full, because this is a development of a city. Kind of like how in the previous Pokemon Legends Arceus game, you are rebuilding the first Pokedex. You're building up you're building up the city overall. But this is a whole different scale because of how big Lumoy City is compared to how small Jubilife was when it comes to what Pokemon Legends Arceus did. This game's scale is going to be far bigger in terms of what you're doing. But there is a secret ace up the sleeve with this, and we're going to get into that as well. Now, I do think that the city, when it comes down to what Nintendo said, because some people were very worried about the fact that it's only in Lumoy City, that it's not going to be, I guess, having huge areas of empty fields and badly rendered hillsides and things like that, which the Pokemon Company, Game Freak, has ran into issues before when it comes to trying to make open world games or semi-open world games. They've done 3 on the Nintendo Switch with Pokemon Sword and Shield, with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and with Pokemon Legends, and they've all had varying levels of success when it comes to the fidelity and quality of that. Obviously, rock bottom would be Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but that's the biggest world out of them, and probably the best would be Pokemon Legends Arceus overall, but still that game definitely was rough around the edges. So I think what they're trying to do here is make it to where they don't have to render all these different empty locations where you have to go outside like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and like Sword and Shield a bit with the wild area and all this, because they're not that great with it, and make a big, nice, dense city that has plenty of different things to do within there without having to render all of the other things, but it'll be as as you build it up. So there will be hillsides and different biomes to go to. And as you build things up, as you get materials, as you do different things, it builds the city up with the urban redevelopment plan. That's my guess for it based off the information that they gave us and also the trailer that you guys are watching over and over at this point. So I do think it's actually a good idea that they're going in this direction. I do think that the game is going to have verticality as well. Lemoy City's huge. You can kind of go up into different buildings. And I think that the one thing that would really make this game kind of shine and stand out too is if you can go inside buildings as well. Not only be outside, but go inside various different buildings and conduct business or do whatever you need to do. Now, I'm not saying that it needs to be like GTA, because I doubt they can create something like GTA, even though GTA has a lot of buildings that you can't go into, but I doubt it would be that dense. But I think they can create something on the scale of that and have it to be really good overall when it comes to what they're trying to do with the game. Because remember, guys, this game needs to prove something, and we're going to talk about it in just a bit, but this game will be a litmus test to see if Game Freak, the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, all of them have been listening, because I do think that there's some signs that they are a bit with what they're going to do with this game. But once again, it's yet to be seen at this point, considering Pokemon Scarlet and Violet never got the performance up to where we wanted it to be, and obviously they left Pokemon Legends to pretty much start up this game when it comes down to. I'm pretty sure they're like, hey, no DLC or anything for Pokemon Legends, because we've got to get going with the next Legends game, and we're going to need time to develop it. Now, this game is launching in 2025, not 2024. And they did a smart thing and not actually telling us when in 2025. You know why? Don't put it at a date like, oh, it's launching this point, and then it's not ready and it's rushed. Or don't rush it out for the holiday. Launch the game when it's ready and when it's good to go. So that's why I say they're kind of hinting that they're changing things up a little bit, because they're not trying to rush it out for the holiday or rush it in early or January or something. Hey, 2025, when it's ready, we're going to let you know when it's ready. And I think that's the smart thing to do, especially after some of the debacles that we've seen with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and the DLC packs just not running good enough. So I do think that that is a very good idea. They need to focus on the improvement of the performance. They need to focus on the improvement of the graphics. All these things need to do better, because they've had multiple cracks on it on the Nintendo Switch with Game Freak. But I do think that this is finally the game that could get it done. And it's interesting because it's at the end of the Nintendo Switch life. But once again, I want to make sure that I stress this. We have to wait and see on it overall. Now, one thing that you also see in the trailer as well is that we could be battling on the water or maybe even underground. And that's why I said there's verticality, there's denseness to the city. It's not just going to be on one plane. You're probably going to be on the water somehow and kind of going throughout there, maybe using different Pokemon to go through different water canals and channels, and then also have Pokemon that can fly in the air as well to get to certain locations within the city. It looks like this game is definitely going to take a lot of things that they've learned over creating semi-open world, open-ended games and putting it all into one. But once again, not having to worry about rendering all of these empty locations, right? These empty hills and locations that they haven't done a great job at doing. So I'm hoping that this can actually create a game that runs and looks good. Now, once again, it's the Nintendo Switch, so we know this isn't some type of powerhouse or beast system, but they should be able to do better, considering we've got games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, that look considerably better than anything that Game Freak has done. So I'm hoping that this one definitely is a bit better. And another thing, they didn't show the game off. And I think that was also a good idea, because, man, people really kind of ran with it when they first showed off Pokemon Legends. I get showing, the graphics and making sure people get to see it and all of that. But once again, if it's not ready to be shown, let us know that it's happening. Let us know that, hey, here's the theme or what we're trying to do with the game. And when you're ready to show it off and let us know what it looks like. So I do think that this is going to be a solid game overall, and we could see some incredible things with it. To me, Pokemon Legends is the best Nintendo Switch Pokemon game. I love that game so much. So if they improve the gameplay aspects of it, obviously adding Mega Evolutions is going to be a huge thing for the game. But then you also take back the strong style, the agile style, and maybe you add some different styles in there to vary up the gameplay and make things a bit more exciting with it. I think that could turn around some people's thoughts that felt that the combat wasn't quite up to snuff when it comes to the technicality compared to previous Pokemon games. So it should be interesting to see what they're doing. But what are your thoughts overall when it comes to Pokemon Legends ZA? What are you excited for? What are you not so excited for? What do you think about the debut trailer here? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch and RPG videos right here on screen. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.